welcome back to my channel, Plan with KP. I'm Kimmy, and I guess to start out this video, we're going to talk about what I am using currently. I was previously in my Momentum planner. I lasted in here for probably about a month and a half, and I just could not take it anymore. It is not my style, and so I gave up. I was planning to use it for the last quarter of the year, and I just couldn't tolerate it. So I was talking with my Nana probably about a week ago at this point, and she mentioned that I should just go back and use some blank pages in an old planner. So this is my 2020 to 2021. This is, I think, a year and a half worth. If we go back to here. So this is starting July of 2020, and then here's December, so halfway through, and then we're into, December of 2021 by this point. I did use the monthlies back in that period of time for pre-planning. I just never used the weeklies because in July of 2021 I switched to planners. So I do have some extra pages in here, which is what I'm using. Last weekend, I did Thanksgiving week. It is currently Friday the 25th as I'm filming this. And so we're going to skip ahead to next week. I do potentially want to implement a monthly to-do list of sorts for 2023. So I've got a couple of notes that I've been keeping that I transferred originally from my Momentum planner onto just a sheet of paper, and then when December rolls around, I think I'll use this page right here to host that, and then I've got some, boxes that I tend to just fill out periodically throughout the month. And then this is the page we are going to be working on for next week. I pulled out, this is weird, but this is some packaging from one of my Christmas presents last year. I love Cocofloss. It is my favorite brand. If you want a really thick woven floss that does a fantastic job, this is your best friend. If you have tight spaces or a couple of teeth that shred, this is not going to be your favorite. I have a couple of those issues, but I deal with it anyways because I've kind of learned to manage it with this floss. My only issue with this is I want mint flavored, and they only have it mint scented. And I know everyone says it's almost the same thing, but it is not, because the Listerine waxed floss is delicious. It actually tastes like mint. It only smells good, and then when you're actually flossing and it hits your tongue, I am not impressed. So if anyone in Cocofloss ever wants to fix that, please, please, I will be your best friend ever. So this is kind of the box, and I thought because we've got these Christmas lights, it would be perfect for this week. On Monday, I will be decorating for Christmas in my house, and it just seems appropriate. Is it weird that I've been holding on to a box of floss for a year? I have used the floss, I just kept the packaging. It was just too cute to pass up. And then this is the last book that I pulled out because I want to use some of this color to cover up my dates. It's not exact to anything in the box that I'm using, but I thought it kind of went with the walrus. It's not perfect by any means, but it'll do the trick. And then for writing utensils, I've got my G2 size 10. And the mild liner. I don't know if these have colors, but it's this funny blue one. In pretty much every Erin Condren spread in the past, usually the first thing I do is cover this calendar. I will certainly be doing that, especially now that it's the wrong year as well. But I want to start with the dates because I will mess things up if I do not start there. I'm not used to redating anything. And so for the sake of not totally screwing up my entire life in the meantime, it makes sense to start here where I will definitely forget once we get going. what I did this week for numbering. Last week I had a little bit of a space where my numbers were, but that also left opportunity for some of them to be a little crooked. This week I tried to line it up with the line. It's not exact because I'm sitting far away and I don't have the best angle, but I think it is improved, which is mostly what I'm going for. I don't know how many days there are in November. I think there's 30. To hold these down, I'm using my Scotch Permanent. Okay, bad job cutting on my part. I got a little too ambitious and actually took off some of my page. And I think I'm gonna cut this one too. Okay, so now that I've got the basics of the decoration aspects, I tried to keep it kind of off the center so I had plenty of writing room. I also want to, before I forget, add in some dates, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. Some boxes, just to indicate that this is November and December of 2022. Because like I said earlier, this planner is actually for 2021. So we're going to put November up here on this sticker. I probably should have written it before sticking it down, but it should be fine. And then that just covers the rest of the Cocofloss logo that I put up there. And then this is December, so same thing, we're going to line this along the top. It's hard to see from my angle, so we're just going to guess. And then this, it was going to be December of 2022. And that's hanging off the edge. Oh well. I'm really excited. I love, 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 love working with an Erin Condren planner. This over here is a little wonky. And I kind of think maybe we should put something over there to cover it, like an ornament maybe? Or a peppermint. Peppermint's a good idea. Awesome. And now I have lost my pen. I know I just used it. Okay. I'm going to start with my work schedule. My days off changed. So currently I have a day off on Saturday, and Monday. What else? So my husband, his schedule also is different than mine. So this is Josh's day off on Monday and Sunday. And then work hours. It's a little repetitive, but in the meantime, while I'm still getting used to our updated work schedules, I am going to fill in that he works. He has to get up like 5:30 in the morning to be up and ready to go by then. So it is important for me to know which days he works. That way I am aware I will be half awake that early. I think this middle section I want to use for general work to-dos. Okay, so Monday, this upcoming week, couple of things. I clearly was not thinking. So this is like generic pre-planning that I was doing to get a general idea of what I need to do with my days off. And filming on a Monday makes absolutely no sense because I should be starting Monday already knowing what I'm doing with the days. So we're going to switch that to Saturday. So Saturday morning is going to be filming for the next week. And then I also like to see Nana and Grandma. And I'm going to kind of separate those out a little bit. That way, if anything comes up, I can put bullet points underneath. And recently, I've been going to visit Grandma before Nana. And then speaking of Nana, I need a reminder for the day prior just to confirm with both of them. I want to make a note that Monday and Saturday also are going to need to be editing days. And so I put it in the morning because in the afternoon, I suspect I'll be doing either errands or definitely we want to put up Christmas lights on Monday. And then same thing, Saturday after hanging out with everyone would be good editing time. I think I'll do a big box decorating for Christmas. I also think, isn't it Cyber Monday? So if we go back to this week, I had a couple notes. So Monday, we wanted to do Christmas decorations. Grocery shopping, I also think might become a Monday task for me. So if we just get that over with in the morning. Oh, it is Cyber Monday. So I want to make a note of that in case I have any further shopping to do. Hopefully I will get it all done today, but you never know. And then I want to pick up my glasses. The optometrist is only open Tuesday to Saturday. And I'm not really off early enough to get them any other day besides Saturday. So I guess between filming and visit Grandma, I will pick up my glasses. And that kind of covers the reminders for next week. I do want to continue with putting habits in the sidebar. I do think that was pretty helpful so far. Morning routine I usually have down, so we're going to ignore that one. So it'll be Bible reading, dishes, and an evening routine. some more reminders because we are going to be at the start of the month for work. I need to print some EOBs. And then I kind of feel like I need to fill some things here in the evening. So if I'm not done editing, I need to make sure I finish editing. And then maybe we'll make Wednesday an upload day. My schedule changed, and so now it's all out of whack in terms of when I post things. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe if Wednesday I can upload, then Thursday or Friday we can have a video go out. I think it's going to be a momentum plan with me. I guess since we are on this topic of Kimmy gave up on her momentum planner, we should probably talk about why. And some of these I probably should have known going into it, but that does not change the reality that I thought it would go better than it did. So sticky notes in the front, those are always good. My monthly planners, I might have to blur some of this out. I guess we'll go to this month. This month is November. So you can see I got frustrated with my plan with me's. So I kind of shuffled them around and never actually got them. The check marks were for things that, like, as the days went, so I would know, like, if I planned on Friday, then I would check mark all of these so that I knew which week I was writing in for my planner. I don't know if that makes any sense. I crossed off doctor's appointments, but I don't know, the boxes are really small. And I knew that going into it, I did not technically run out of room, but had anything else come up in a couple of these days, it would have been really, really hard to squeeze them in. So that was not my favorite, but it wasn't necessarily make or break. These highlights on the side correspond with the weekly and the daily pages because I was highlighting items that were done in yellow this week, for example. So if we go to the weekly, I actually did not hardly use these. I made it, oh, we're gonna ignore that. I made it, a month? So into the end of October, but I never actually came back and filled any of this in. I really only used it for 2 weeks and I decided I hate it. It doesn't leave you enough time to write what's going on really, and then it doesn't make any sense to have it here instead of next to the designated days. I didn't use any of these plan time, actual time things. That's just not how my brain works. And so it felt pretty scattered from that standpoint, and it didn't work. Same thing, deadlines. I don't have deadlines at work. I have things that I want to do on certain days, but if it doesn't get done, it just gets moved to the next one. It doesn't work like that. I don't have actual work projects. For the actual days, I did use my supporting tasks as a grocery list because I didn't have anywhere to go. I have literally never used this energy level, and then same thing, I don't have actual projects, so I never fill any of that in. Most of my to-do lists, whether they are supporting tasks for things I had planned or if they are emergent tasks, yes, there's a typo. Go back to my previous video if you want to hear about that. But I tend to just make one running to-do list. These were a couple of reminders of things that I wanted to do. So on Monday, which would have been the next week, I didn't plan. We needed to get my husband a haircut, buy drinks for the Thanksgiving we're having, and then I had an appointment to go to. This was highlighted, so I must have given up on November 17th for things that actually happened. Here you can see I've got another to-do list. And I sort of have, appointments written down, but I didn't even do a to-do list here towards the end. I just got really, really frustrated. And part of it, I think, is a seasonal sort of situation. End of the year is my favorite for planning. I love doing autumn pages. I love doing Christmas spreads. Who doesn't want to do something like this? And I feel like it was potentially my fault. I could have put Thanksgiving Day, stickers in here and some festivities, in terms of like decorations, but it felt kind of wasteful. If I'm using my favorite seasonal stickers, then I want to look at them for 7 days worth, not for the one day I'm here and then we move on and there's nothing, so it's, a combination of things. I also really like to have a weekly page. Next year, I've already had my planner ordered. It's my Christmas present. So thank you, Nana, but I do not actually have it yet because it's getting delivered to her house and then I won't get it until probably Christmas. But it's just, I like to have my week. I'm not a horizontal girl either. So a week in some, vaguely vertical format, and then it just, there's no inspiration on a page like this. These energy levels kind of interfere with everything. Same thing for the project. And, if I ran out of room, I did not, but I could have totally just, kept writing through the dots. It's just a weird format. I did enjoy the time scheduled part because that's, kind of what I've been into these days. It's just not my favorite. So if we go to this middle string here, it brings us to the week. And it's going to be October 3rd through the 9th. I feel like it should have the year on here. Oh, maybe that's what it's for. Maybe it's supposed to be October 3rd through 9th of 2022. I don't really know. Because here, because we were switching months, I just did, month/day. But maybe it's supposed to be month, day, range, and year. I don't really know. I feel like this should have been more clear. Couple of things you'll notice right away is I only made it a partial week before deciding I hate the little strings that hang out the bottom of the planner. So what I did was I just tucked them here in the back. The frustration I had is I tended to keep them all like by the spine, and then you'd have to like shuffle through and move them around so that you could open your page. It was just kind of frustrating. And then I did go through and make some tabs. So I've got one for my month, one for my week, and then that one says day. I did originally have them sort of each separated, but you'll notice this little crease where my strap comes over, and so when your tab is lined up with the edge of the page so that you can see it all the way, then the string tends to push on it, which I don't like. So I just moved that over. I already know which tab is which, and so I'm able to access them even though this one's a little bit cut off. So I gave up on that. I did give it a good effort. I, spent a month and a half in it trying to make it work, but I continually go back to my Erin Condren because that's what works for me. I've gotten used to it. I have, certain preferences as we go. Hopefully Erin Condren will remove their corner calendar. I've been hoping this for years. I don't even think it's removed on the 2023. Thank you all so much for joining me today. That is what this week looks like. I hope you have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!